let's just preview some key matchups in the conference and start with a top 20 showdown in Ann Arbor. You've got USC traveling to Michigan. This is 3:30 Eastern on CBS. It's a chance that it feels like for the Trojans to really stamp themselves now, not just in the Big Ten, but around the country as, okay, we're back, we're here, we're ready to compete for a playoff spot.
I think so. I think that they were impressive. I think they surprised a lot of people in how they played and winning the game in the opener against LSU. Then they handled business against Utah State the way everybody would have expected them to do. So now this is the next step. Okay, you're going to go on the road. You're going to play one of the big boys in your new conference in the Big Ten in the big house. Miller Moss continues to impress. I think, he's playing at a high level. The big question continues to be their defense, right? They gave up over 400 yards at LSU, but that's a pretty good offensive football team. Held Utah State to 190 yards, took the ball away once. So how their defense plays in this one against Michigan will determine really the outcome and how their opening game as a Big Ten team will turn out.
1,000%. And we'll see if that Michigan offensive line continues to come together a little bit, because it's an opportunity for Danton Lynn and this USC defense to assert some will and kind of showcase they're ready for the Big Ten right off the rip early this season. Yeah. Our game.
I think go for it. Let me just say, Michigan, because I'm sure there's a lot of people, wondering what, they went down again in the AP top 25 because they beat Arkansas State, but it wasn't all that impressive. Their quarterback threw 3 interceptions. Look, they still have issues at quarterback. They will only go as far as their offensive line, their running game are this year. And any passing that they do has to be able to come off of play action and off of a solid run game. So they took steps in that direction last week. The fact they lost to Texas and the way they lost, Texas is an outstanding football team.
Might be number 1 in the country.
Yeah, so there's no shame in losing to Texas the way it did. But now they've got to really start to get improvement on that offensive line and lean heavy into their run game. Kalel Mullings, 153 yards and a couple scores. Donovan Edwards, almost 100 yards. So that's where Michigan has to really kind of assert itself, and they can start this week against USC.
Yeah, get back to your bread and butter and showcase how tough of a football team you are. It's what's been their calling card the last 3 years and the success that they had. And their head coach is an offensive line coach by nature, a former offensive lineman himself. So it feels like it would be the right place to start.